Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to continue on with my carriage and cross slide modifications. Let's get into that. I don't know if everyone watching saw my first two episodes of my carriage and cross slide modifications, but what I'm trying to do is put the extended travel on my X. They sell a kit at littlemachineshop.com, but I didn't completely buy the whole kit. I modified my own carriage and bought a lead screw and the extension. But when I went to put it back together after modifying the carriage, I realized that this pocket, which is a bearing surface, and this boss, or whatever you want to call it, is a bearing surface. And it has to be below this surface. And this one is at least 5 thousandths. The one that I got from the little machine shop sticks up at least 5 thousandths, which means when I go to tighten this up, it's just going to seize everything up. So what I need to do is put this in the lathe and take some cuts. Not only is this too wide, but they used a tool with a big radius. So the radius is also dragging on the inside of that pocket. So I'm going to have to get rid of that radius on both sides. And what I had to do is stop putting everything together for the extension and actually put it together. And I'm going to have to use the original lead screw or cross slide screw. I have it mostly together. I thought we'd hop in there and take some cuts, but first, before I do that, I'd like to measure it, write this stuff down. The first thing I want to do is measure the depth of that pocket, and that's easy enough to do. I'm getting 113 thousandths. The pocket, 0.113 deep. The original lead screw, the bearing surfaces, which is 111 thousandths. I'm using, I'll go all the way around. I'm using a flange mic because it's a little easier to get all the way down that face. I can do it with calipers, but I don't really trust calipers when I'm trying to do something precise. When I measured the new one all the way down, or at this surface, the groove they put in there, that radius is so big, it goes as big as 125 thousandths. But I'm going to fix that. We're going to go into the lathe that I put back together. I have to put this original lead screw back in there, and we're going to try and fix this. Not this one, this one. Let's go do that. Before I could do anything, I have to put this original lead screw back in here. I just have a couple of bolts to put on, screw this into the nut, and we'll be set to machine everything. Let's do this. Okay, the first thing I need to do, put a little oil on the bearing surface and just screw it in there. It's a left-hand screw. This shouldn't really take that long if I do it right. Put a little oil on this bearing surface, the pocket. Find the right Allen wrench. There's only 2 screws on here. I had put all of this back together actually and tried it, and I actually remembered how to put it back together. Anyone who feels they needed instructions to put their machine back together, let me remind you that you can get a full set of instructions here, like this, from the littlemachineshop.com, off of my website, glennow.com. You can find a link to my website in this video's description. Tighten it up by hand. Put the graduation dial on here. I put this screw in here a long time ago because the friction screw that was in there, it never really worked. And it would slip all the time. Put this handle back on. There we go. I'm going to put that right up against the jaws. I think that'll work. Okay, let's do this. I have this thing up against a dead stop, and I'm just going to feed in a little bit at a time till I touch off. And I'm going to try to bring that tool all the way down to the bottom of that relief that they tried putting in there. I'm going to go a little further. The back of this tool might hit over here, but that's okay. All right. Take it and turn it around. All right. I'm going to turn this thing around. If I can find the chuck key again. There it is. And put my tailstock on so I could put a center in here. It's sticking out pretty far and I don't need it to start wobbling. I took the tailstock off when I was tearing everything apart. I think that was the first thing they told me to do in the instructions. I used the littlemachineshop.com instructions to take it apart, just so people had something if they wanted to download to follow. Okay, everything is locked in place. Let's see if I can get close enough. I may have to readjust my tool. I had the tool so far back in the holder just to get a longer cut on my x-axis. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to touch off and start cutting in. This is a smaller diameter, so I doubt that I touched the back of this like I did on the other side. But it's up against the stop, and I'm going to start doing that. Touch off and cut. Then I'll take a measurement. Alright, made a layer out of me. It did touch the back of this. But I got rid of every bit of that radius. Let's take a measurement. I don't know if I can get in here with this. No, not really. It won't let me straighten this mic out. Let's see if I can do it with this. I'd like to do it before I take everything out. That is 110 thousandths. I think that's going to be good. Okay, let's get this out of here and put this thing together. Let's get this thing out of here so I can put it back together. Get this tool off of here. I'm probably going to have this back apart shortly after I do this. I just want to see how much room I have, how much more travel. And I need to take it apart because I think what I'm going to do is put some wipers on my ways here. And to do that, I need to drill and tap some holes. But let's finish this project first. Take the handle off. Take the graduated dial off, or try to. Take the screw out. One screw out. Two screws out. Take this lead screw out. Original screw is out. Hopefully that will be the last time. Okay, I'm going to put a little oil in here. I know I'm going to take this apart again. I'll probably use grease. Lefty tighty, righty loosey. That is not how it goes. I mean, it's going on there, but I forgot to put the extension. I may add another 1/4 inch, 3/8. I cut the carriage back further than 1 inch. I need to change screws. That's another thing I bought from the little machine shop, is the extended screws. Backwards. Okay, let's measure how much travel I have now. I'll put my tool back in there. What I did to find center last time, what I used before is the point off my scriber. And that's what I'll do again. And that scriber should show me where the point is. I have this tool tucked in pretty far. Okay, it's right at the center. Now let's see how far this thing, how much travel I got. It almost looks like 400. But anyway, 400, that's at least 4 3/4 inches. Anyway, this turned out pretty good. I really like this idea of about 4 3/4 inch diameter can be faced in one pass. I like that. But I guess this video is coming to an end, so I'm going to have to say, until next time, enjoy.